Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Gwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to all you brothers out there feeding the flock. It's motivating. Shout out to you sisters out there listening, quietness and meekness. Alright. And today, we're going to talk about the word heathen. Now, there's two different types of the word heathen in the Bible. We all know that the word heathen is the other nations. If you're not so-called Black, Latino, or Native American, if you're not a so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, then you are a heathen, period. Because the true Jews of the Bible, the real Jews of the Bible, are the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And it goes by the seed of your father. Alright? So, anything outside the children of Israel, the other nations, Japanese, Chinese, Caucasian, African, the other nations, you're heathen. Alright? But in the Bible, there are Jews, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who have a heathen state of mind. For instance, I'm going to use myself as an example. Before I came into the truth, before you came into the truth, if you're a listener and are in the truth, before you came into the truth, you were Americanized. We celebrated Christmas. We celebrated Thanksgiving. We celebrated birthdays, Father's Days, Mother's Day, Easter. We celebrated all these pagan holidays. We were Americanized. Therefore, we had a Gentile state of mind. All right? And the first scripture we're going to get into that the Bible talks about Hebrew Israelites who had a Gentile state of mind and who were called Gentiles. So we're going to go to Acts chapter 6 verse 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples were multiplied, there arose murmuring of the Grecians. Now, murmuring is like they were trash talking amongst the Grecians against the Hebrews. So the Grecians are Hebrew Israelites who carried Greek customs. All right, and we're gonna break that word down. And it says against the Hebrews, and because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration. So the Grecians, they use the word widows here in Acts chapter 6 verse 1 because the Grecians they use the word widows for the Grecians because they were neglected in the daily ministration. They were the Grecians, which were the Hebrews with the Gentile state of minds, were neglected by the Hebrews that were Hebrew that wasn't a Gentile state of mind, and because it's against the law to I'll show you. If we jump to Acts chapter 10 verse 28, it says, and he said unto them, it says, okay, we're going to start at 26. The point is 28. This is Acts chapter 10 verse 26. And Peter took him up, saying, stand up. I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, this is the point, ye know that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto another nation. But God, Yahweh, hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean, that are a Jew with a Gentile state of mind. So, So it was an unlawful thing for a Jew to chill with a non-Jew, a heathen, or a Jew that was Americanized, but in this case that had a Gentile state of mind, that took on the Greek customs or that took on the Roman customs. All right. So we're gonna jump back to Acts chapter 6, verse 1. And in those days, when the number of disciples were multiplied, there arose murmuring, trash talking of the Grecians, which were Hebrew Israelites with the Gentile state of mind. I want to get that right now in the Bible dictionary. Zondervan. All right, we're going to go to the word Grecian. Check this out. All right, so the whole intentions of this video is to show you that there are two different types of Gentiles. A Gentile that's another nation that's not a Hebrew Israelite. Also, that were Hebrew Israelites taking on the other customs of the other nations. All right. So in today's time, if you are so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, the scripture says not to get tattoos. That's a custom of the heathen nations. All right. And if you mess around and get tattoos, you're taking on the customs of the other nations. Therefore, you have a Gentile state of mind. You see, the Gentiles do that. The heathens do that. We don't do that. We're different. We are a peculiar people. We're different. We're holy. We're separate. All right. So let's get into the word Grecians. First, let's go into the word Gentile and the compact Bible dictionary. All right, Gentile. Gentile. Usually, it means a non-Israelite people. You see, usually it means. Most of the time, it means a non-Israelite people. But the word usually is there. Why? Because Hebrew. Non-Israelite people, right? Because Israelites that took on the Gentile customs, they became Gentile state of mind Israelites. All right. All right. So now that we got Gentile, let's go to Grecian. 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 Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenists. We got to get into that word Hellenists as well. Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenistic race. All right. So, what's a Hellenistic race? Let's go to the word Hellenistic. Hellenist. Jews who made Greek their tongue. You see? Hebrew Israelites who made Greek their language. Right? And with it, adopted Greek ideas and practices. All right, so the Hellenistic are the Jews who took in the other nations' customs. For instance, in today's time, you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, if you celebrating your birthday, if you getting tattoos, if you're eating abominable foods, when the scriptures tells us not to do these things, you're taking on the other nations' customs. Thus, you are a Gentile state of mind. All right. You are a Hebrew Israelite, but with a Gentile state of mind, with the heathen state of mind. All right. And here's another good scripture. Let's see what we got here. Let's go to Greek. Let's go to 1 Galatians chapter 3 verse 28. No, let's go to Galatians chapter 3 verse 28. Excuse me. Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. Is that right? Yeah, Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. Oh, that's Ephesians. Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. It says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, and the Greek they're talking about are Jews that are the word Greek is talking about Jews that took on Greek customs. They are neither Jew nor Greek. They are neither free or bond, neither male or female, for ye are all one in Yahweh Shai. All right. Because remember, this Bible's only, it's a letter, it's a huge letter to the Hebrew Israelites, you know. Now let's go to Romans 1:16. Romans chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Yahushai, for it is the power of Yahweh unto salvation to everyone that believeth, first the Jews, then also the Greeks. Alright? So this is that word Greek again. So I hope this video is edifying. I hope this video is edifying. Alright? And here's another if you go to First Maccabees in the Apocrypha, it also shows another scripture that talks about Jews taking Greek customs. And if you go to Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6, it says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. You see? Because the Jews were under Alexander the Great. So if you got caught taking on your own customs, which are our own customs, we were killed for following our own customs. You see what I'm saying? We were killed, man. Let me read that again. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful, meaning it wasn't allowed, for men to keep Sabbath days, those are our customs, or feast, or ancient feast, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. You see? So that's where it began. That's where it began, where we started taking other customs and living those customs of the other nations, because we were forced to, and we would be put to death if we got caught going back to our nationality. But the Spirit of the Lord came on Apostle Tahar on down. I don't know too much of the history of who was above Apostle Tahar, but Apostle Tahar on down, the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with these men that taught us, that gave us the remembrance to remember our customs. All right, so I hope this was edifying. I hope you got some understanding about when the Bible speaks about Gentiles, that it were talking about Hebrew Israelites who were Gentiles with a Gentile state of mind. All right. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahshai. I hope this was edifying. And, Shalom.